Doyle. You were listening to Spirit Talk Show. We are reading AI-generated stories with friends. These stories are stories that are generated by mostly ChatGPT, but some other AI sources. And they are stories that are created today. We are hearing them for the first time with you. And they'll never be created again exactly the same. In fact, if you put the same prompt in, it creates a different story like every time. It's really cool. So original AI-generated stories on Spirit Talk Show, bedtime stories for grown-ups. If you guys would like to get involved, you can go to spirittalkshow.com. You can see all the information about where you can hear our shows and where you can contact us. Maybe come on the show and read some stories or just send the prompt. But as I said, I like to have friends in the studio, and this is my Christmas show. So I'd like to have a very special guest who is multi-talented, many facets of what he does. He's a performer. He works with old people. Apparently, he does upholstery, I heard today. And he is one of the key members of the chorus I'm very attached to, Sacramento Gamers Chorus. So welcome, Corey.
Hello, how are you?
Did you like your intro? I wasn't even planning to do it. It was kind of off the cuff.
It works completely.
Okay. So you are like, I know you were the choreographer for a long time in the chorus. Like you were the single choreographer?
When I started, actually, we were just getting back into choreography. There was about, I want to say 38 people in the chorus.
Oh, wow. When did you start in the chorus?
Let's say 2009.
2009?
Yeah.
You've been in the chorus that long?
Mm-hmm. And I've been their choreographer ever since my first concert, only taking a small hiatus for like a season.
Wow, you did. Yeah, I know you did it with when my first like 2 years. I thought that's what you did. I actually thought you were employed by the chorus. I thought you and Howie and everybody were actually paid by the chorus. I mean, well, I guess the choreographers do get paid.
Well, actually, we started out. When I started out, I did it all for free. This is one of the things that I love about the chorus. I give my time, and we volunteer. So part of this is if you get to do what you love and still get to make a difference in the chorus.
Well, you're killing it out there, and you really make the show. I have to say I was a little anxious about the show because it seemed like a lot of movement in this show. We did a lot of movement, and but it was fabulous. We killed it on
absolutely
on Saturday.
The fan dance and everything else that went with it. Even Turkey Lurkey just really kind of brought out the piece for us.
Turkey Lurkey was so sharp, and what's funny is, you know how the choreographer, Brad, teaches them the choreography? I noticed a lot of the chorus were watching him, and then they did the song really well because they just watched how to do it.
Well, we also had more dance leaders this time. So we were able to give you guys somebody in the front row that was going to be able to help you lead and to kind of watch what's going on.
I noticed when the clapping part, the offbeat clapping part, is like Miguel would always be doing the clap for us because I don't think we were fully getting that.
Now, Miguel actually did a huge chunk of the Britney Spears parody that we did.
Wow.
So it's, adding somebody new to our group is so amazing.
So if you, this choreography, before you became like, where were you getting it? Were you making it up or were you finding it places?
No, I make most of it up. It comes just through repetition and time. But also, I started with San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus, and I got a chance to actually become one of their youth choreographers for the Glam Youth Choir, which was the first gay and lesbian youth choir in the world.
Wow. You were the choreographer.
Yeah, I was their student choreographer. So, there was a main choreographer. There was the director that actually would do some of the choreography, and then they would have me kind of fill in for them.
Wow. So how long did you do that?
Actually, I think we were together for about 2 years before I actually moved out. I moved out here.
Okay, so you were in there. So, and you have the chorus. Of course, you're an important integral part of the chorus. But there's other stuff that you do. Like there's this Jewels of the Jazz, the cabaret benefit. Oh no, that was for the chorus.
So actually, it's part of the CGNIE, the Court of the Great Northwest Imperial Empire.
Yeah.
It's a very long name, but what it really is a philanthropic group that deals with raising money through putting on performances with drag queens and things like that.
So what is this thing? What is this royal court type aspect to it? Like, what's the purpose of that?
Well, I think it's just pomp of circumstance, actually.
Okay, just because they like and you're a Duke, I heard, right? Or are you still a Duke?
Actually, this will be my 10-year anniversary of being Grand Duke of Sacramento. It's a title that I actually had to go out and get people to vote and to pretty much put me in a leadership role of being able to go out and do my own court system.
So do you actually have it seems like being Grand Duke of Sacramento, they'd want you to walk in a parade or something.
Well, at the time we were doing a lot of parades and a lot of things, but we do a lot of traveling. During that time we go to other cities and we spend money and we give them as much money, like we make sure that the money's spread around to different charities in different places, and we support these other groups that are out there doing the same work that we do.
And so, wow, this is a lot. One thing I really like about this show is people could come on, and I've known you for a while. I've known you around, and it just to get this intimate knowledge and connection with you is everybody who's come on the show. I've been like, wow, I feel so much closer. I have all this information. We've had this cool connection, but as well as doing all this like philanthropic stuff, you also have a job that's kind of very like you work. So can we talk about your job for a second?
I work for Revere Court Memory Care. I work with dementia and Alzheimer's patients specifically. I'm actually an adult daycare director, and I started off actually in the cottages as a caregiver. I spent 4 years in there working really hard to. But what they saw in me was really the fact that I took an individualistic approach, which was very, very. You can teach anything else, but you can't teach that. And so that caring piece. And so what I was able to do was take that to a bigger place, which because of that, I became an activities director for a year. They paid for my certifications to get me into place because they believed in me. And I'm now running an adult daycare. And it means a lot to me to be able to do that.
So adult daycare means my elderly parent, I can drop them off for the day.
Yeah, from 8:30 to 5:30.
Okay. Yeah. And so I actually know some people. I work with like elderly people, but I just go to the house and fix their computers. I actually went to one today that I was like, oh boy, is your daughter around? Because he was not acting right.
Yeah.
And I was concerned because like, what do you do when like I work with these old people that go to the house and they live alone and I see them maybe once every few weeks to fix, and I can tell the cognition is going down and down. Is there some place you can call and say, I'm concerned about this person?
Well, yeah, but that usually deals with state places, things like that.
Okay,
ombudsmen.
Well, that's probably not a good
Yeah,
thing.
you're also dealing with the ombudsmen and things like that to really kind of connect those pieces. But I mean, usually the families see that in advance. You know, they'll have somebody come through, or even friends. And
But I wonder what happens when someone lives alone. The kids live 1,000 miles away. I guess, yeah.
It kind of just comes to a place where you end up doing it anyway.
So you are the Grand Duke of Sacramento. It says ChatGPT decided to say alongside. Who's this person?
So Grand Duke of Sacramento. I'm Grand Duke 35 because it's a long line of people before me that do the same thing. And so Dime Unique Andrew St. James is my Duchess. So I'm the male title holder. She was the drag queen that was on.
That's great.
Yeah. So, and it didn't have to be a drag queen. It could be anybody in that place of being a cisgendered woman. It could be anybody in those spaces. But it makes a difference in aspects of having the other person to help you.
Can it be someone who identifies as a man, or it has to be
Mostly, we try to make sure that we do allow different identities coming into it.
So, what does this recommendation, like, what does it mean to you? How does it reflect, like, who you are?
What it did for me at the time, specifically when I was running, was that it reinforced that we're doing this for charities. Mm-hmm. We're doing this and it really did show my values because I want to give back to the community that I believe in. Right. And so being able to give back to the chorus or to the places that really kind of influenced my life, was such a major thing. Being able to look at these charities like Mustard Seed, which is a school for the homeless, or Weave, Women Against Violence, or some of those different places, we were able to give back to those communities in need. And for me, that's who I am. I like to give back to the people that really need it.
It's obvious that you have values of helping people, and you do so much, because you juggle so much roles here. The life enrichment activities, organizing benefits, performing. How do you stay in balance? Like, how do you stay inspired and balanced in this?
I think what drives me are the people around me.
Yeah.
At work, I say that every single one of those people, are the people that are my staff or the people that my coworkers, they're all my family, and they're all there to support me and I've told them as soon as I took the job on, I said, hey, I am nothing without you guys.
Wow, that's good. That's good. It's to lead from within rather than, you're the Lord over them and they're having to do all the work is really.
We also talk about the second paycheck. You can make decent money doing something, but what really is the emotional paycheck that you get to help these families and help these people around you. And even in the chorus, it's the same thing. Being able to see people in dance grow and to push them to the next level for themselves. So you
That's great,
yeah.
So. That's so good. And this is so great. I'm so happy that this episode is going to be broadcast on Christmas Day, and we're talking about goodwill and people and enriching people's lives and stuff. And so, wow, I think you might be one of the most inspiring people we've had on. It's really cool to have people. I know it feels impersonal because I have questions here I wrote earlier, because so sometimes I get so flustered that people have all this stuff going on. I want to make sure I got stuff to ask them, so.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the fact that you did some deep dive a little bit on who I am. And
was that a little bit intimidating, the stuff I found on you?
Actually, I see it's kind of an honor to actually see what I've actually done. And, sometimes we don't reflect on what we've been able to do with our lives, and because we're in it. And there's those moments.
So unfortunately, I try to do it for myself. And the reason I go by Doyle on the show is because people with my full name have been associated with some bad things. And so if you type in my full name on ChatGPT, there's a professor right now in San Joaquin Community College with my name getting sued for sexual or harassment. There's a former radio host with my name who was caught soliciting children.
Yeah.
It's really, so I can't, so.
Oh yeah, see, I think the only one that I found is a track person that did a lot of track. Yeah, in high school.
I found that too, and I thought maybe, is that his high school? Did he do track in high school?
No, I was a master singer, and I did acting and theater and music.
So when I did it with James, I tried to find his high school and stuff, but his high school doesn't even like exist. So master singer. So you aren't doing master singers with Nick this season, or is that just another thing you couldn't do?
That. No, that's too complicated for me.
Because they're
right now.
Because they're like traveling to Ireland this summer, I believe.
Yeah, there's a couple people that are actually in chorus over there.
So okay, let's go talk about this question. Your original compositions, you compose music yourself?
A little bit, but not very much. I've been
So make sure you're talking in the microphone.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So you do songwriting, and you haven't done it, or you have done it. Why did ChatGPT think you are? Where's that information coming from?
Probably because I have a lot of musical background.
Okay. Well, that's out there. So, okay. As someone who's deeply involved in the Sacramento Gamers Chorus, what are your hopes for the future? How do you envision it continuing to inspire the community?
Well, let's see. My hopes for the future is that we're able to stay on this trajectory. I would love to see us actually have our own space, an actual building for us to be performed, to rehearse in, that kind of like the community center or the Clara, somewhere that we can call our own.
That would be great.
But also a hub for music, places that people can go to get not only get in our chorus, but I would also like to see this umbrella chorus, like this umbrella of different choruses that fall under our place.
Oh, like a Polly's and maybe a youth one, and maybe
a women's chorus. All these things that are already out there that could potentially become one organization or one umbrella.
That's a great idea.
On top of that, I think for me, I see us continuing to do these things, like going and singing for judges, singing for the Senate, singing for all these places, and becoming a face again in aspects of, I shouldn't say again, a face for the community more than where we're at, because we do so much now. Could you imagine being able to have these call outs where we're so overwhelmed that we have to break into different groups? And
I guess we'd have to, because sometimes it feels like, we wouldn't have, those of us who are volunteers, we wouldn't have time to do all this stuff. Time to do it. Like, you have to leave work. I'm sure you have left work to do events. And
yes. And also that, like in San Francisco, there's 300 people in that chorus versus, 125 where we had to cut off.
Do we have 125 now?
It's a little bit lower, but it's the attrition rate we usually go up to the top where we our maximum, and just kind of.
I remember when I auditioned, I really wanted to get in, but I don't think. And I got in, but I don't know how many people auditioned, like my season, as opposed to how many got in. Because I guess that season you guys had to do an audition too for the new director, right?
Yeah, and then that was just a voice placement. But then think about Poly. Every year we have to re-audition for our spaces. So even if I'm in the chorus for years and years and I've proven myself, we still have to go through the same rigorous situation that everybody else has to. But we do it every year. But I would, the thing about Poly that makes me happy that I'm still part of it after being in Boy Howdy, all through the change of the name, through the process to Poly, is that I'm still at the top of my game. I'm still pushing myself to be at the highest level that I can possibly be, and still have that smaller group mentality.
Well, you seem to be, holding it together, and you're holding the dancers together, and it's noticed. It's noticed in the community, and it's noticed in the chorus, and that's cool that we could. Hey, we better read a story.
Oh yeah, that's
we
true.
better read a story. We're like 17 minutes. I just could talk to you all day. Maybe we should just talk. Okay, so let's see what I have here. So I have this story that's kind of related to you. I try to be a little funny with it, but there's your story. You can start with the title, or you can just start this story.
So it's called The Enigmatic Notes. It's called A Spy Story starring Corey Hubert. So Sacramento's arts and senior living communities knew Corey Hubert was a charismatic Life Enrichment Coordinator at Revere Court and a star performer in the Sacramento Gay Men's Chorus.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. At least in heels. His days were filled with organizing cabarets, leading sing-alongs, and sprinkling joy into the lives of seniors. But beneath the surface of his harmonious life was a melody only a select few could hear. A symphony of secrets.
Dun, dun, dun.
Chapter 1, The Hidden Score. It was during a holiday hits with a splash of sass rehearsal in 2019 that Corey first noticed something was off. As the Polyphonics group perfected their final number, a stranger in the back row caught his eye. The man clapped too perfectly, his applause synchronized to a precise metronome beat. This wasn't just a music enthusiast. It was a handler from the conservatory, a covert organization using the arts as a cover for international espionage.
Dun, dun, dun.
Corey's real talent wasn't his velvet baritone voice or his knack for organizing jazz benefits.
I don't know. It got your placement wrong. I'm sorry about that.
Hey, I'm actually baritone in Poly.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So I actually technically am a lyrical baritone. I just don't want to lose my upper range. It was his eidetic memory and knack for decoding encrypted messages embedded in music. Years ago, the conservatory had recruited him during a music workshop abroad. Sacramento was supposed to be his quiet cover, but now they needed him back. The Duke and the Duchess, Chapter 2. The call came under the guise of a community honor. Corey and his friend Dominique Andrews St. James were named Sacramento's Duke and Duchess during the coronation ceremony. Corey received a sealed music box as a symbol of his reign, and the melody is played was as an old jazz standard, but Corey recognized the coded sequence immediately. It was an activation signal. The conservatory's message was clear. An international cartel was laundering money through the senior living facilities, using fake donations to art and music programs. One of the facilities was Revere Court. Jewels of Jazz, Chapter 3. Corey's annual cabaret, Jewels of Jazz, became the perfect stage for his investigation. The event was packed with city officials, philanthropists, and shadowy figures Corey suspected were part of the cartel. Between performances, he maneuvered through the crowd, subtly collecting intel. Raquel and B.B. Sweetbrier's performances were brilliant distractions, giving Corey moments to plant recorded devices disguised as sheet music in key locations. The Star-Spangled Banner, Chapter 4. The breakthrough came during Revere Court's Veterans Day service, where Corey performed the Star-Spangled Banner. What the audience didn't realize was that his vocal inflections were a signal to a conservatory agent in the crowd. Mm-hmm. Hidden within the song's crescendos and pauses were coordinates leading to a storage unit where cartel financial records were stashed. Mm-hmm. This is getting interesting. Yeah. The final encore. The operation culminated during a Polyphonics performance at a city gala. Corey's rendition of Rodeo held a secret message for the agents present, alerting them to a precise moment to raid the cartel's headquarters. As Corey hit the final note, the room erupted in applause, masking the faint sound of sirens outside. The cartel's operation was dismantled, thanks to Corey's brilliance. The conservatory praised him, but Corey returned to his cover of Life for relief. For now, he could focus on enriching lives through music and laughter, the kind of harmony he truly cherished. A new melody, the epilogue. As he sat at his piano one quiet evening, Corey replayed the music tune that had set the mission in motion. This time, it felt different. Not a summons to danger, but a reminder of how one person's talent could compose a symphony of change in the world. And Corey Hubert, Sacramento's unsung hero, was ready for his next encore.
Wow, you read that. It was like perfection. Your voice is perfect. And you got some of the words. I was like, I don't know what that word is. There was one word that, eidetic memory.
Eidetic.
Eidetic. So you got some of the words I thought like, oh boy, I wouldn't get that one.
So I actually, the funny part is I always say that I have eidetic memory. Part of it is I can pick up music and usually learn it within two or like get most of it within two times of going through it. Yeah. So, and I retain really well. Mm-hmm. So that's where I always joke that I have eidetic memory.
Well, but I don't know if I saw the word written down, if I know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
You got like every word was like perfect. Maybe you should do voiceover. Jeez.
Maybe. When I work with my dementia patients, the thing is this is kind of how we talk. We tell the story. We make the emotions come through the voice. And
well, you're a good storyteller. I'm going to hopefully talk to you about my next season's project. We'll talk about that later.
For sure.
Okay, I'm going to read one, and feel free to, if you see anything fun, butt in. Okay. Benevolent Abduction, a camping tale. The fire crackles softly under the canopy of stars, casting flickering shadows on the faces of the Peterson family. Their annual camping trip, a cherished tradition to escape digital noise of modern life and reconnection with nature. 10-year-old Mia, or is that Maya?
I don't think it really matters.
Okay.
Mia,
okay. Was roasting marshmallows, her laughter mixing with the hoots of distant owls, while her brother, Ethan, strummed a quiet tune on his guitar, always with the music. Their parents, Sarah and Mark, leaned back in their camp chairs, savoring the serenity. Then came the light. At first it was subtle, a shimmer just above the treetops, but within moments the clearing was bathed in a silver glow. The family froze, staring upwards at the dish-shaped craft, descending quietly. It hovered inches above the ground, impossibly sleek. That's really good. And gleaming. Before anyone could move, a soft beam of light, warm light, enveloped them. The next thing they knew, they were standing in a circular room, its walls pulsating with the gentle hues of blue and green. A group of beings, tall, slender, and shimmering like living prisms. That's weird. Stood before them. Despite their alien appearance, the beings exuded a calm, almost parental warmth. We mean you no harm. I don't know why they're British. A voice echoed in their heads.
Yeah,
Okay, you do this next line.
Your planet faces great challenges. Your family has been chosen to aid in its healing.
Mark stepped forward protectively. But before he could speak, the beings projected images into their minds. They saw a future Earth ravaged with climate change and neglect. They saw the Peterson family working outside, among others, equipped with the knowledge and technology shared by these benevolent visitors, repairing ecosystems and fostering unity among people. Why us? Sarah asked.
Your bond as a family, your respect for nature, and your potential for compassion make you ideal candidates.
The beings replied,
You will return to your world with tools to inspire change, but first, we must ensure your health and understanding.
The family was guided through a series of chambers, and beings shared advanced knowledge through immersive holograms. They learned about sustainable energy, restorative agriculture, and ways to build. From that day forward, the Peterson family became a catalyst for change. Their work inspired others to take action, transforming communities and restoring hope. They often returned to the campsite, gazing upon the stars, wondering if the benevolent friends were watching. And somewhere in the vastness of the cosmos, they were. Wow, we're actually kind of running out of time in the first half here.
I just now did like Lilo and Stitch doing.
Yeah, that was amazing. I loved everything about that. And are you speaking in the back of your throat?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's funny. Well, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back after this, and you can hear more Lilo and Stitch language. And if you guys would like to get involved, please go to spirittalkshow.com, and you've got 5 seconds to say something.
Well, I don't really have to say something right now. We're good. So
well, when we come back,
so
we'll have a Christmas message. Come back after this.